Hi, I'm Lisa Chastain, CEO of Gospel Rescue Mission. Back in 1953, my grandfather, Ray Chastain, was a yardmaster for Southern Pacific Railroad. It was during that time that he witnessed the hobos riding the rails, as they referred to them, and developed compassion for them. So he would bring food from home and clothing from home until that compassion grew. In 1953, started Gospel Rescue Mission in Tucson. What a legacy it has been. It's a privilege for me to carry on the good work that he started. So for this 70-year anniversary celebration, we've gathered some of the testimonies. Of course, there's so many more than what you're going to be experiencing today, but listen to these stories of just life transformation. People that might be dead had they not encountered Gospel Rescue Mission. People that were hopeless in despair, and then they found Gospel Rescue Mission. So listen to these stories, because this is our legacy, and this is part of your legacy as well.
Hello, my name is Darwin Brown.
My name is Carlo.
Going to Iraq and going through what we went through, like with the war and everything, and seeing all the carnage and stuff, the battles and the death and all that, and it just disturbed me to a point where I eventually, after getting back, got out of the military, but got out with severe PTSD, ended up drinking a lot, alcohol, suicide, living in the park or anywhere I could lay my head, because my addiction was so fierce, and my fears and my anxiety was off the chain.
The first time I was ever homeless when I was 11. My father was very abusive. He had 6 of us. You know, he'd beat us all. About 7, my dad divorced my mom, and she took my 5 brothers and sisters, and she left, and I stayed with my father. He married a very young woman. When he was gone, she would abuse me, sexually abuse me until I was 11. When I turned 11, my dad caught it in the act, and so he beat me really bad. And I could hear him when he locked me in the closet when he was beating on my stepmother. And so when my dad pulled him, when my father pulled me out of the closet, he just beat me. And I had to go to the hospital and have plastic surgery. And then when I got out of the hospital, I ran away from home.
There was a gentleman walking around the park, and I was sitting at a table, and this individual walked up and says, "Hey, my name is so-and-so, and God sent me here because somebody needed help." And I broke out in tears. I grew up in the church and everything, like a lot of kids and stuff, but went on my way doing my thing and forgot about God. Well, obviously at that time, God hadn't forgot about me.
Pensacola, Florida. That's where I last heard my mother was. And so I knew that she'd be living in a certain area, because that's where all her family lived. And so I slept under an overpass from I-10 in this road called Pine Forest. And there was a Winn-Dixie grocery store right next to it. And so every day I would go to the Winn-Dixie, and I would walk down every aisle looking for my mom. And I was walking down the aisle, and I saw my brothers. I saw my brother and my sister hanging on the side of a cart. And so I was real happy. I was gonna get to go home. She didn't recognize me. She said, I said, "I'm Carlo." She says, "Carlo's in Texas." I'm Carlo. She said, "How'd you get here? Where's your dad?" I said, "I ran away to look for you." I said, "Dad's no good." And they were homeless. And they were doing worse than what I was doing at 11. And it just got worse from there.
The pastor took me to his home, got me fed, cleaned up, and brought me to the Gospel Rescue Mission the next day. And I met Lonnie Davis, who became a father figure. I was really willing to listen and follow, and doing so, it changed my life to this day.
When I got to the gospel, they trusted me with the keys to open up the clothing closet. And that was my job when we were there. My first job, I was in charge of giving out the clothes. And I took a lot of pride in doing that because I would try to match, because you got guys coming in, some of their socks are stuck to their feet. I know, I've been there. And their clothes are just so bad, you know. They just need some new clothes, underwear, socks, a towel, some hygiene, anything. And so it just made me feel so good when I knew it wasn't my stuff that I was giving away. It was stuff that was donated. But the fact that I was given an opportunity to be that middleman to give it to them and see the looks on their faces. Because I remember how I felt when they gave me clothes. It's about helping others. Because the fact of the matter is, all these guests that I help out every day, I need them more than they need me. That's the truth.
For 70 years, Gospel Rescue Mission has been transforming lives. Through that 70 years, the face of homelessness has certainly changed. But the one thing that remains the same is the hopelessness that people experience while being homeless. The main reason why we see people homeless today is drug addiction, alcohol addiction, mental health, and sometimes all of the above. Gospel Rescue Mission deals with the root issue of why people are homeless to begin with. We tackle those hard issues, mind, body, and spirit. When we started the Center of Opportunity, we just said, what are all the obstacles that homeless face? And we provided a solution. At Gospel Rescue Mission, we address the whole person. Taking people from homeless to wholeness is the core of what we do. So what is wholeness to us? Wholeness is full restoration. People come broken. They're broken in their mind, body, and spirit. And we provide assistance for them to find wholeness where they're at. Provide the mental help that they need. Provide the physical help that they need to restore their bodies back into health. And of course, to restore their spirit back to their Creator.
I've been staying here for 7 months, and this place has been really good to me. And I owe them a lot because I'd be out on the streets and probably dead by now. Back in 2018, October, I was at the old mission. And while I was at the old mission, this place came about, and we were so excited. They've taught me to trust in Jesus, to serve the Lord, and to just be a better person, and not so much of a recluse as I used to be. And I'm just so thankful, and now we're packing up and getting ready to move to the Center of Opportunity. And I'm real excited about what they may bring for me and all my other brothers that are here. To think that we're going to move into this brand new facility, and this place is amazing. None of us were used to having anything this nice. And so we were just so appreciated. And when we got here, we just felt like this was really super nice, super clean. Everything was just great.
The life I was leading brought me to the mission, brought me to my knees, because while prior to coming to the mission and everything, I was a man who spent a great deal of time getting everything for himself. Ever since, where God has been using the mission to turn my life around, ministering to me, showing that when I turn my life over to God, what God can do, and everything that I was missing was God. It had nothing to do with the material things or the wealth or all that. It was God I was missing. And it was through the mission I found my way back to God. I used to see people walk by, drive by in their car, and never thought I would ever be a part of that lifestyle again. Walking by, seeing food, seeing a place of shelter, and And the Gospel Rescue Mission was not a shelter, it was heaven to me. And for a lot of us, for the first time in my life, the Gospel Rescue Mission was the real deal. It was the church. I had been divorced 3 times, I'd been in the military and going in and out and being away from your family, separated from your family, your children. And then after being at the gospel, everybody came back into my life and everything I had lost, I ended up with much more than I even deserve to this day.
This place is not like an institution. You know, it's like a family. Everybody that works here is like family. So, you know, when you get to work here, it's like joining a big family. And, you know, now I can honestly say I am no orphan anymore. And that's the best feeling in the world.
We are a faith-based organization, so faith is at the core of what we do. We know that there is not full wholeness and transformation set apart from Christ. But I will say at the same time, the Gospel Rescue Mission is open to everybody who walks through our doors. When you come through the doors at Gospel Rescue Mission, there is a sense of peace. So when people come through the door, there's no judgment here. You know, our core values are love, grace, dignity, and respect. So we want everybody to feel the freedom to tell their story and for us to help them walk through to meet their goals. Because if it's our goals that they're trying to accomplish, you know, it's not going to work. So we bring people in and say, what is your goal? Is your goal to find a job? Is your goal to find housing? Is your goal to get recovery? Or all of the above? You know, so we meet the people that we serve right where they're at. We come alongside their goals to help them succeed.
Without Gospel Rescue Mission, I would be dead. Because of Gospel Rescue Mission, I've found hope. My life has changed. My health has changed. My thinking has changed. I've reinvented myself. I love my family more than ever now. And I'm just so thankful to the Gospel Rescue Mission. They were my last hope, really.
And if you ain't a part of the Gospel Rescue Mission, you don't know what church is. That is my story, and I'll stick to it to the day I die. You don't know. And it's reaching out to those who are broken, torn up, beat up, tossed to the side, garbage. And to be able to see from garbage who we are today.
As a Christian organization, you know, we stand on the scripture of Proverbs 19:17 that says, whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord and will surely be repaid. That is our Christian duty. It is our call to serve the Lord and to serve those that are in need. So as we've told these stories of these remarkable life transformations, just know that Gospel Rescue Mission is committed 70 years beyond today, you know, to continue to meet people where they're at, to provide the services and the resources that they need, and to share Christ with them along the way. Through that, we depend on you, the generosity of the community. We're 100% funded by private funds. We do not take government money. So it's the generosity of the people of Tucson to help the people of Tucson. It's neighbors helping neighbors. So to say that we're thankful for your partnership and thankful for your generosity is an understatement. We literally could not do it without you. Every life that we touch, every story that we share is because of your partnership. You are part of that legacy. So Gospel Rescue Mission is so broad in its nature because it takes all of us working together to transform lives. So we are better together. It's cliche, but we're better together. Thank you so much for your generosity, and we couldn't do it without you.